Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I can't remember where, but sometimes in my teenage years, I read something going like this. One of the greatest things in the world is to have your enemy admit that you are better than her or him. I started with her because, now we have to be inclusive. And I think this is exactly what's going on in Ukraine with Western countries. In this case, we have Ukraine, even from Ukrainska Pravda, admitting not that the Russians are better, but that the Russians are actually doing better in the war, winning. But hey, you win this little battle, you win this little battle, you lose this one, and you might lose the war. So it's not always a slam dunk. Like, for instance, remember the Wehrmacht? They got to 15 kilometers west of Moscow in the Second World War. And what happened? All right, I'm going to show you here 3 articles I have ready. The first one comes from Ukrainska Pravda, where these guys are telling us that the Russians attack along the entire front. The other one I'm going to show you from Sputnik, a 2024 milestone, an achievement by the Russian military. Undeniable by facts and evidence, not by gut feelings. And the third one coming again from the Ukrainians, where the Russians are preparing an assault on Kherson. This is new in the Kherson region. New because the Russians did not do much in Kherson lately, I would say more than a year. They were pushed back in the city of Kherson, they crossed the Dnieper River on the left bank, and now they've been over there. And supposedly the Ukrainians crossed over, so that is on the left bank of the Dnieper River sometime, and the Russians could not push them back yet. I will show you maps as well. So let's start with the first article coming from Ukrainska Pravda. Russian forces attack along the entire contact line. Ukrainian forces repel 168 attacks in one day. And this comes from the Ukraine's general staff. So the Russians attack. They're not defending, attacking. Russian forces are attempting to attack Ukrainian positions along the entire contact line, with Ukrainian and Russian forces clashing a total of 168 times over the course of the past day. The situation is the most tense on the Pokrovsk, Liman, and Kurakiv fronts. So when they say they were Ukrainians, I learned this through their reports. When they say the situation is tense or dynamic or something like that, means they're already in bad shape. Pokrovsk, Liman, Kurakiv. So they're talking about Pokrovsk, which is right here, Kurakiv, which in the same area, and the other one was Liman in this area here. They say only in this area it's the bad stuff. Now the other article, the last one, is going to be focused on Kherson right here. I will get to this after I continue and finish with the first 2 articles. Yesterday, enemy forces deployed 1 missile to carry out a missile strike. To carry out a missile strike on the positions. Civilians pop. Ukrainian positions nearly. So in addition, they attacked Ukrainian positions and towns nearly 4,500 times, including 198 times with multiple launch rocket systems, and deployed 1,864 kamikaze drones. So that's not good. Remember the title. They attack along the entire front line, and that is from here to here. So let's say from Kharkov to Kherson. Boom. We ignore Kursk for now. Next, this comes from Sputnik. 2024 milestone. Russian army liberates over 200 settlements. So put that together with attacking along the entire line, and then with what they say here, most tense. I think it's even worse than they report. Over the past year, Russian forces liberated 214 settlements within the special military operations zone in Russia's Kursk region, according to Sputnik calculations based on data from the Russian Ministry of Defense. Could that be exaggerated? Could be, but you can verify. Among the most significant achievements of the year were the liberation of such cities as Avdiivka, Vuhledar, Selidovo, as well as Robotyne. So Avdiivka, Ugledar, Selidovo. Right? Avdiivka, in this way, this is Bakhmut, they did that too, but not this one. Avdiivka, and then Selidovo, and then we have down here, where was that? Just losing my mind here. Robotyne, that is in Zaporozhye, which is in this area right here. And then you have what? Selidovo and Vuhledar. Selidovo was in this area, and Vuhledar is right here somewhere. They call it Ugledar. Right here, this is Ugledar right here. So they advanced this much, Selidovo and Avdiivka. All right, so these are the, Selidovo is right here by Pokrovsk. They mentioned that Avdiivka is right here. So Avdiivka, so basically going towards Pokrovsk. This is the front. All right, let's see what they do, what else they say. Additionally, in Lugansk People Republic, Russia liberated, okay, Makeivka, they did all this last year. So, in total, the Russian armed forces have liberated 4,500 square kilometers of territory previously occupied, according to the Russians, by Ukrainian military. Right? In December, Russian troops also achieved notable gains, liberating more than 30 settlements as of December 31st. So, one each day, my friends. So, that's bad news for West. Ukrinform reports Russians preparing for assault in Kherson region, partisans say that. I covered this major offensive that the Russians supposedly are organizing, planning, preparing a few, maybe weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago, where the Ukrainians claimed that the Russians prepared no less than 300 boats to cross the Dnieper River into Kherson. 300. All right, it didn't materialize yet. Agents of the ATESH partisan movement have uncovered intelligence indicated that the command of the 1218th Motorized Rifle Regiment of the Russian Armed Forces is preparing for assault operations in Kherson region, anticipating significant personnel losses. According to the partisans, all servicemen have been instructed to write their personal details, such as surname, first name, personal number, and date of birth. Maybe it's just oh my God, all right. Maybe these guys tell us who the partisans. So they're talking about the Russians trying to do something in Kherson region. All right, so this is Kherson Oblast, north of the Crimean Peninsula. This is the Dnieper River. Go back. The Dnieper River. This is Novakakovka Dam that supposedly the Russians blew up. Why? Zelensky Stein said it. Therefore, the Western media operatives parroted back to us. But we don't know. I personally don't know who did it, and I don't believe anybody unless I receive evidence. The only evidence is the dam is done. Therefore, we have here, this is the Dnieper River, and you have Kherson here, almost by the mouth of the Dnieper River. The Ukrainians crossed over this, you see here, this area, by Kazachi Lageri or San Lageri. This area, see, these guys crossed over the left bank of the Dnieper River. The Russians were not able to push them back here. Now, I don't know what's about there, marsh and swamp and Trump, but nevertheless, this is where they are talking about, this region here. And the 300 boats ready to cross over. My point here is the Russians had a successful military operation in 2024. They, based on evidence, they occupied or liberated more land. They are advancing along the entire front line, or at least they're attacking over the entire front line. We'll see in Kherson, which is steady, nobody pop, beep, 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 boom, boom. But the rest is the Russians are advancing. Kursk, it's still there, and that is in Russia. And that's about it, my friends. The situation is, or how should I put it, the Russians have the upper hand as of now. They have been having the upper hand in the past year. It doesn't mean that it can stay like that. But Trump is going to come over and we'll see what he will do and what he can do according to, the guys. Yeah, exactly. Thank you guys, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.